So what we're going to talk about now is a team charter. What a team charter is, it's a tool. It's really a sheet of paper or poster that you create along with your team to help align them. You're going to align them to your organizational goals by setting team goals and individual goals for each of your employees. So really the purpose is it improves communication, improves teamwork, creates accountability through aligning common vision and goals. It's going to clarify roles and responsibilities for the team members, and it's going to empower the team specifically with boundary conditions, so that way they know exactly the rules that within they could work. So here's how a charter looks. It's just, something on Excel that I created. There's many charters. It doesn't really matter how the tool looks. What matters is that there's 5 components in there, and you can make your own type of charter, but just try and hit these 5 components here. And also you could download the Excel file, have it in the course. You could email me, and I'll always happy to share my content. So the 5 components of a team charter is a purpose, which you'll have a purpose statement, and we'll go through each one of these 5 in depth. That way you could really be successful with creating a team charter, because they help so much with so many things, as you'll find out. So the second one is to create SMART goals. The third one is a specific action plan that let individuals on the team know exactly what to do and when they should do it. And we'll talk about boundary conditions and then ground rules. So the first thing you want to do with your team is get a purpose statement. Purpose statement will answer these questions. Why are we here as a team? Why do we exist? What do we do? What do we hope to accomplish? And what do we value? So what will make us proud? So together you'll come up with a purpose statement. Here's an example one. The maintenance team is here to ensure all equipment is running in an optimal condition so that production can flow to our customers. We value safety, teamwork, quality, efficiency, and customer service. So I'll have more examples throughout the course, but it is good to involve your team and have them come up with a purpose statement together. Then I would write that down on the charter. That's in the very top of the charter. What is our purpose? Then we're going to move on to setting SMART goals. Now it's important that the SMART goals align to the purpose. So the SMART goals, well, what SMART stands for is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So really, specific is, what do you want to do as a team? What do you want to accomplish? So I'll look at a key performance indicator, an objective, safety, quality, productivity, morale, and then how do you measure that? What are your current metrics that you're using to measure that objective or that goal? Select something, a goal for your team that is attainable, something that you could accomplish in, I would say, 3 months or less. And the R for relevant, what that means is just make sure that that aligns with your purpose statement. So goals that align with your purpose statement is what the R is for. Time-based, make sure that you have a date on when you want this project due. So if it's due in 3 months, then put that date on there. Okay, here's an example of a SMART goal. So kind of my cheat sheet is I start with a verb. So do we want to reduce something as a team? Do we want to increase something, improve something? And then what specifically do we want to do in order to accomplish that verb? Make sure we have a measurement in there, be very specific on what performance we're measuring, and then also put a date. So I always remember, start with the verb, end with a date. Okay, here's some quick SMART goal examples. If you want to reduce lost time for safety incidences, so from 2 per year down to 0 per year. And what do you want to get that done by? Reduce changeover on a machine, achieve $150,000 in material cost savings. So set a goal and make sure that these goals align to your company objectives and goals. So here's some categories to select from: safety, quality, delivery, productivity, cost, morale, or some other ones. Okay. So now we have 2 things so far, and here's an example of how they look. So we have a company mission statement, usually, that I like to refer to help me create a purpose statement with my team. So here's an example of a company mission statement. I'll bring that in with the team and say, let's create a purpose statement now. Why are we here? And do we align to the company's mission? So there's an example there is the team purpose statement. The maintenance team is here to ensure all equipment is running and in an optimal condition so that production can flow to our customers. We value safety, teamwork, quality, efficiency, and customer service. Okay, so then they set their SMART goals. So their SMART goals need to align with the purpose. So in the purpose statement, they're claiming that, you know, they focus on customer service. That's what they value. So now one of their goals is to reduce changeover time on machine number 7 from 75 minutes to change over the machine down to 40 minutes by 12/31/2020, whatever the date is. So that means that they selected a SMART goal that aligns to the purpose statement. Another example could be increase their OEE from 67% to 75% on the bottling line by whatever date. So that, if they accomplish those goals, that aligns to the purpose because that's going to help with their efficiency and with their customer service on-time delivery. Okay, so now the next question is, now that we really know what our purpose is as a team, we know what our goals are as a team. So now what's next? Because a lot of teams and companies, they stop here. All right, everyone, we have our goals. Let's go out and do stuff and accomplish our goals. But the biggest problem is the leader doesn't explain how to accomplish them. Like, what specifically are we going to do to change the needle on those goals? And then that's where a lot of lean manufacturing comes in to help us change these things. We'll get to that a little bit later. But so who is going to do what? So now we need some action items. So what that looks like is just creating a task list of who's going to do what and when is it due. So what's the task? If we're going to increase productivity, then we're going to have to eliminate waste. So what task? How are we going to do that? We're going to say Fred needs to create a value stream map. Sandra needs to update standardized work. So we start filling out the task and who, but then we need to come through and put when. When is the due date? When do they need to have this done by? Okay. So purpose statement, the why, SMART goals is the what. Then we need to make sure that we do the how, the who, and the when. So the action task list, it breaks it down from a team goal into individual tasks. Who's going to do what and when? And you could add a status check on there too. How are we doing? So if it's, because we don't want to set these goals and these tasks and then not talk to the team about them until 3 months later. We want to make sure that they're up to date, that our team members are communicating with us asking them prompting questions. Do you have any roadblocks? Are you green light? Some use the yellow light, which means, yeah, I might be falling behind, or the red light means I'm behind, I need some help. Okay. So the fourth thing that we talk about is boundary conditions. So what this is clearly define and communicated constraints or limitations for your team to work within. They need to know, hey, could we work with overtime? When can we work on this project? What's our budget? So the things that get communicated up front is what's really going to help the team understand what they can and cannot do. So knowing their boundaries up front is so important. So make sure before we unleash the team to start working on these goals that they have clear understanding of the boundary conditions. So things like, hey, there's safety environmental regulations. So before you start working on this project, keep in mind that ISO 9001 has this requirement, or ISO 14001 has this environmental requirement. Let them know that there's new HR policies, or that we have to update standardized work, or there's a budget, make sure we don't spend this much on that project unless there's a return on an investment of X. So it's just communicating information up front of what they can and can't do. That way they could feel empowered to work within those boundaries. Okay. Something that I use is a boundary condition, which is just an option, but it's something that you could put a list of different conditions on there, and then you could simply put, and this would be posted for the whole team, whether it's a no-go, approval then go, go then tell, or just go ahead and do it. I don't need to know about it as a manager. Okay, the fifth and final component is to have the team set ground rules with each other, how they're going to work together during the day and also in meetings, how they make decisions, treat each other, communicate with each other, and participate in group settings together. So here's some examples that I've came up with various teams, but these are pretty common. Everyone participates, or everyone's engaged, everyone's responsible for safety, things like that. As we're communicating as a team, we attack issues and problems, not each other. Love that one. If you bring up a problem, better bring up a solution. Otherwise, you're just complaining. That's a good one. If they do have meetings, team meetings, usually the high performance teams will do 10-minute short meetings, but we start on time, we stop on time. We listen to each other's ideas with an open mind. So we show humility in meetings, and we give everyone a chance to share their input. We make decisions based on data and facts instead of bringing just a bunch of assumptions to meetings. And we make sure to involve those who will be affected by any decisions that we make. Always trying to get a consensus. So in summary, I recommend looking at your company's mission statement. Even if you don't have one, that's fine too. Still come up with a purpose statement for your team that aligns to the company mission statement. Create one with your team, that purpose statement. Then create some SMART goals that align to the purpose statement, and then create some specific tasks for your team members to accomplish those SMART goals. Then it's good to get your boundaries in there and your ground rules in there. The goal, again, is to align everyone to a common purpose, to be very clear on goals, and what you'll see is the team will start holding each other accountable. They'll feel engaged and empowered, and again, it's just a great tool to help you be successful as a growth leader.